He is 100% worth it.
He takes it to another level. Oh my God, I just fell in love with it.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Blew my mind. And it worked. I wanted to buy my thing.
Jay is, I would say, the Yoda of sales calls, man.
Just talking to Jay, he was so good at just taking what it is, seeing the opportunity and the value and the real reason we are making it.
Talk to Jay, because he got it. He can definitely help you out.
Talk to Jay. You're going to get a lot. You're going to gain a lot.
I would absolutely recommend him for any position that you have.
Jay's definitely the guy.
Give him the chance, give him the opportunity. You won't regret it.
He's good at what he does, so I highly recommend him, and I would book him before he is fully booked out.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Sales Ninja Show podcast, where we cut through the noise, ditch the outdated sales tactics, and show you how to close deals with confidence, strategy, and integrity. I'm Jay Lee, founder of Sales Ninja, and if you're tired of chasing leads, handling endless objections, and feeling like you have to convince people to buy, you're definitely in the right place. Here, we do sales differently. We believe in positioning over pressure, where the right people lean in without the need for pushy tactics. And that's the heart of the reverse glass selling method, a kingdom-driven approach built on 1 Peter 3:15, which is trust, service, and true connection. Because when you lead with value, sales becomes effortless. And when you sell more, you can give more. Today's guest is someone who helps business owners turn AI into real revenue. He's an entrepreneur, a tech investor, and an AI innovator known for building systems that scale companies without adding complexity. He works with founders who are ready to grow faster by using technology to generate leads, build authority, and create businesses that run as assets instead of constant effort. His approach focuses on leveraging AI in a way that compresses time and produces measurable results where it matters most: revenue. He's also the co-founder of an AI-powered platform changing how businesses connect with their ideal clients and scale with precision. Please welcome Johann Nogueira. What is up, Johann? How you doing, brother?
Dude, what's going on? Man, what an epic intro. After that, I'm like, yeah, Jay's the man. Let's go.
I'm the biggest hype man, man. Everyone keeps saying, man, I love the intros. I love the intros. You know what? I as a coach and a coach of coaches and leader of leaders and outside coaching all these sports, I want people to win so bad. That's my passion. And so clearly, hopefully you can catch that. We just met, offline and just really connected well with you, and looking forward to this amazing episode of the Sales Ninja Show podcast on how you are building wealth and solving solutions with AI. So let's start from the beginning. Start from the very beginning. Where did it all start? Parents, entrepreneurs, did you sell as a little kid? What happened?
Cool. Let's give you the fastest 3 minutes of the last 21 years.
Yeah.
I was doing my PhD in secondary biofuels and climate change, so absolutely nothing to do with what I do right now.
What?
But hey, dude, it showed me how to build things that are systemizable, repeatable results. That's a scientific method that's in there.
Wow.
So I built a little business while I was doing my PhD. I needed something else to put my teeth into, and I was in this tiny little town. There was only 14,000 people there, so I had nothing to do at nighttime. So I built a little side hustle. Took off, ended up building 6 of those. And so after that I got into, it's 2004 we're talking about. It's a long time ago now. And little side hustle kicked off. And then after that, 2 years later, I went into affiliate marketing. Back then, that was one of the biggest things that was going around. And I became a ClickBank master and did all that stuff. 2 years after that, CPA, cost per acquisition, so lead generation. That's what I specialized in. After that, I had the great idea to build a digital agency. So we built that to 100 people. We ended up building some of the most complicated systems. This is now 2010, around there. And we got known for the guys who build the crazy tech. And so we ended up building management systems, mobile apps for buildings. I spun that off into another company. We built that to 20 million in 4 years.
What?
Sold that in 2019. 2017, launched another company called Business Authorities, where we used to run events all across Melbourne over here in Australia, 3,000 members. And then from there, 2020, the pandemic happened, so everything shut down. We were literally in lockdown. We weren't allowed to leave our houses. That was a crazy time. So 2021, we bought 8 different companies, put them all together, launched Comet Suite, which ended up becoming White Label Suite, which we just exited 6 weeks ago. So when we booked this podcast, I had that company, and now I no longer have that company because it's sold and done. And we launched another company called AITechAdvisory.com. So we go into companies now and we do AI transformations. So there you go, my friend. That's 21 years of history.
Dude, that is
Where would you like to start?
insane. Okay, so and you don't have to disclose this if you don't, but can you give us a ballpark? Exited another company in 6 weeks ago. What was a selling price?
Yeah, we did all right. We did all right.
Because the other one you said, I heard you say 20 million on another one.
Yeah, correct. That one's publicly disclosed. So
okay. So are you retired?
Dude, we're entrepreneurs. We can never retire. Come on.
No, but could you retire?
Oh yeah, that was
okay.
I've got
that is amazing.
I got 2 kids who I love spending time with behind me. You can't see it now, but I've got a ton of board games. We build board games for fun, and so I built a board game that teaches my son how to build a $10 million company.
What?
And so, yeah. Bet you haven't had a board game designer on your show before, right?
No, never. So is that just for your family, or did you actually sell it?
No, so we're launching it, and it's a lot of the families over here have it, and we've play tested it for the last 4 years. But now that I have some time, well, actually, I thought I had some time. We've launched this new company now. I was like, once I sell this company, I'll launch it. But we've actually got about 57 games that we've built over the last 4 years that we're gonna eventually one day
board
launch.
Games.
Yeah, that's what we do in our spare time.
You build board games faster than people build apps.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so let's take that also into the business field. So, which is incredible. I mean, the only one I know is Monopoly, and I don't know many, and that's not even really building a business. So, are you also building AI apps like you are building board games?
Yeah, man, dude, we've got a whole dev team. We're building apps all the time. You name it, we're building. And so one of the things, so this new company, AI Tech Advisory, we'll go into a company and we will install, agents. And so agents, apps, whatever they need to build. Most of the companies we work with, they're between 50 to 100 million. We've got a couple that are about $500 million at the moment.
What?
And yeah, it's the systemization in these companies is epic, because within one day you can start seeing the results, right? So it's the first time, because of AI, we've been able to sell results, like guaranteed results. It's like, hey, pay me this much, and I guarantee you're going to see an uplift of this minimum at your bottom line. And it's crazy.
Okay.
We've never ever had it.
That is insane, dude. Well, okay. Can you give us a use case, whether it's theoretical or
No. I'll give you a real use case.
Yeah.
So there's one of these companies that we're working with. They put 7-star. They make houses 7 stars, right? Energy ratings. And so in that, they've got to do all these glass measurements and do all the heat ratings and all that kind of stuff. So they've got these big giant forms, and it takes one of their sales guys an hour and a half to fill these forms out into the database, and then they can do what they got to do and all this stuff. Anyway, we just built a little simple AI where we can take a photo of their form. It uploads everything. Everything is machine learning and AI vision, etc. And it takes them 10 minutes now. Now that saves them $750,000 a year.
What?
That's just one. That's one case. Another one is these guys, they build houses, right? And over here in Australia, when they build a house, they've got to do a lot of stuff with the government, the council, where they have to send them measurements and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, $200,000 a month in labor costs in another country that now no longer have to happen, because the AI can take all that, go into the website in the council, submit it all, and then come back. And yes, we're reducing headcounts, but so much time is saved, and efficiencies are crazy. So yeah, selling results.
How much time is saved with that $250K monthly labor cost in terms of how many people or how many hours or whatever?
That they're saving $200,000 in wages a month, and it's all fully automated. They don't even have to do anything. It literally takes like 10 seconds to do now, instead of somebody taking 2 weeks to do.
Okay, I am already blown away here. So we should do like a weekly podcast. Do you have your own podcast?
We do. It's called Influencer Empire. So we interview influencers and
Influence. What is it called?
Influencer Empires.
Influencer. I lost the last part of it.
Empires.
Okay.
Influence. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
How influencers have built their empires.
Amazing.
And so that was our lead-in into selling our last company, because all the influencers who would jump on the podcast, they ended up becoming our clients.
What?
Because we would tell them, hey, do you want to monetize your influence? Get an return on your influence. So we called it ROI. And they'd say, how do we do that? I'd say, well, just white label our system, put it on your thing here. Here's 5 videos that you can pump out. And so one of the guys who launched it on his channel, he was getting $30,000 in MRR a month just from that.
From white labeling your system?
Correct. Yeah. So this is the old company. The old company. You can go check it out. It's called. When I say old company, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
Whitelabelsuite.com. So that is the company that we just sold.
Whitelabelsuite.com. SUITE.
Correct. And so that is a lead generation platform which you say, hey, go find me every property investor in New York who's doing $20 million plus. It'll go find them, talk to them, and book them into your calendar.
What?
So there you go, a plug for them. So that was our software. We had 2,500 clients, agencies who would white label it and then sell it to their clients under whatever brand they had. So yeah, that's that company.
Wow. Okay, that's incredible. When you're looking at building, so much. I'm usually pretty good at asking questions, but because you had so much stuff in there, I'm like thinking how to navigate all these. I feel like a kid in a candy store, right? So when you're looking at businesses that you're growing and scaling, are you always looking at the exit? If so, how do you grow and scale a business towards the exit?
100%. So every business that we build with the exit in mind. So this new business that we're building, 5-year exit plan, right? And so the white label suite, for example, when we did the deal to sell it, we had a 4-month transition where we were going to transition over 4 months. But the person who took it over, a week after they took it over, said, guys, documentation's A+. Accounting, A+, all the legals, everything, the team, like our team is freaking awesome. Everything was so good. At the end of the first week, he goes, I've just transferred the rest of the money to you guys. Thank you so much. This is the best purchase I've ever made. So that's what happens. That's the outcome when you build a business to exit and you have everything fully documented and ready to go and systemized. It makes the purchase so much easier for the next party. And so every company that we've built and sold, we've always had that in mind from the beginning. So we lay the right foundations, set up everything, set up all the SOPs, all the data room, all of the accounting has to be done like our accountants know. We're building companies to sell them. And so that's what happens there.
Do you, and this is just a beginner question, but do you sell that system on how to teach others how to build towards an exit?
No, that's just a thing that we do internally.
But think about it. I talk to so many business owners that are looking to build to exit. So I have one person I met at a BNI, and they have like a $3 million law practice. And one of the partners is like, I want out in 5 years, but we don't have the systems. We don't have the automations. We don't have so they should be talking to you, right?
They can, yeah, for sure. I'm happy to help them. Today, I met a guy. He's got a $10 million a year company, and he goes, "Hey, I want to exit." So I'm sitting down. I'm talking to my accountant, and so this guy comes up, and he's a client of the accountant. And he's like, "Hey guys," and so we 3 of us end up talking, and he's like, I'm doing 10 mil a year. I want to sell it. And the accountant goes, it's going to be 2 years before you can sell it. Because he has no systems, he has no proper accounting, he has nothing prepared. He can't just say, "Hey, I want to sell it." The company is him, and if he leaves, like it's old school, right? It's the transition from the baby boomers, who have they did business on relationships and handshakes. They had no systems, they have no CRM, they have no documentation, they have relationships. But unfortunately, if he sells it, the next person, what are they going to buy?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So there is a massive, for anybody listening, guys, it is the biggest wealth transfer in history right now. If you can learn to systemize a business and go in, people will give you percentages in their companies to systemize their business for exit. So now I'm going to switch back to aitechadvisory.com. We go into companies which are either, so we work with M&A firms, and the M&A firms will bring us in for a company that they're about to buy and say, hey, we're about to buy this company. Can you tell us what is going to be the multiple that you can increase it after the acquisition?
Yes,
because they're buying it at a low rate. We come in, we put in all the AI systems in there, and then boom, multiple is pretty big. And then the people who want to sell companies, they'll bring us in and say, hey, we want to sell the company. Can you come and AI-ify the company? So we'll go in, we'll AI-ify the company, the multiple goes up again, and then they get a lot more than they would have if they didn't.
Okay. Any again, you don't need to say any names, but use cases. Like the company was at this point, it was acquired at this amount. We AI-ified it. It went to a multiple of X, and then we exited for.
The last one we did, they were gonna sell at 2 million. By the time we were done with them, 6 months later, they sold at 10. So that's life-changing. That's generational wealth stuff.
How long does it take to get from selling like a potential 2 million and then get AI-ifying it and then getting it to 10 million, selling it for 10 million?
6 months. 6 months.
What?
Because things just move so fast, and once you so now everybody's got access to Claude. Claude is our little secret powerhouse. On Claude, you can literally build a second brain. When you build a second brain for the company, right? Anything and everything that's happening in the company goes through the second brain, which knows everything about the company. Therefore, now all the systemization, all the SOPs, all the documentation, all the clientele, all the orders, everything is there, and you can pull that up in seconds. And so that second brain, we just call it the AI brain of the company. When you build that for the company, now everything's accessible from that. You can leverage it and turn it into reports and whatever else that you need. And so now it's AI-ified nearly. But then you go, then the next layer on top of that is you go in and put in all the agents that are working and talking to each other. And we put in working next to each of the people. So I'll give you an example. So we went into this company. This is what we do. We went into the company, we have the CEO, and we have 15 of the heads of the company, their leadership team, heads of the different departments. And we have a proprietary software where people will come in and they are, during the workshop, they're all typing in all the different things that they do and what jobs they're doing and doing there every day. So just a couple of them to give the CEO an idea. The CEO's got a live dashboard, and he's seeing how many different tasks each one of his people is doing and what they're doing, and the amount of time that AI can save them live in real time. By the end of the workshop, he's like, oh, wow, if I get you guys to come in and do this stuff, we're going to add an extra 3 million to the bottom line of the business.
How much?
Like, yeah, 3 mil. So this is the last one that we just did.
Wow.
And that's just 15 people just putting in like 1 or 2 of the things that they do. So it says, hey, Jay's going to save 8 hours a week by having an AI that's going to record all his calls, send out all the proposals, do all the invoicing, and set up all the follow-up systems and introduce them to the team and take care of onboarding. And it's like, wow, cool. Yeah, I want that system. Again, it's all AI, right?
Okay, I'm blown away because I see people doing AI. I see people doing AI, and I see a lot of people trying to do AI, but to actually see people doing it and getting results the way that you are, I've not heard many people doing that. So how many, I don't know if you call them exits, how many have you done, and how many?
I've done, I've done 4 exits so far of my own companies. And yeah, that's
And how long?
21 years.
Okay. And do you specialize, if people wanted to find out more about you, do you specialize in helping people build, grow, scale, build a multiple through AIification and then
Correct.
exit?
That's correct. Yes.
That's the main offer for you, or is there, or just other AI solutions on top of that?
So the main offer is we go in there and we AIify the company to increase the bottom line. At the end of the day, people they want a systemized business that's making more money. So we do that. Selling becomes part of that process because once we do what we do, it's automatically already ready for an acquisition if somebody wanted to, because everything is, all the documents are there, all the SOPs are there, because you need that. Otherwise, the AI cannot do what it needs to do because it doesn't have direction. So it's a byproduct, is that they become sale ready.
Okay. Want to say hello to some of our people watching the live. Inderpreet says live, and he says 2 legends in one frame. Thank you very much.
Yo, what's up, dude?
If you have any questions, please ask in the comments, and then we'll get Johann to answer any of the questions that you may have. Thank you guys for tuning in. So what are the first things that you're looking, like when you're looking at, like, let's say a $2 million business that you were talking about, you got it to a multiple, you sold it for 10, and please educate me because I'm new to this whole exit and this multiple. So is that a 5x multiple? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, correct. So that's what they got.
A multiple of 5, or how do you use the terminology?
It's just a 5x multiple.
Okay, 5x multiple. So what are people looking for? I mean, is there a certain KPI or criteria that they're like, when they're doing an exit, they're happy to just sell it where they're at, or they're like, hey, if Johann, if you can get it to a minimum of something X multiple, then we're interested in hiring you.
There's performance bonuses and things like that always. It's like, hey, if you can increase the value by this much and we get this much, we'll hook you guys up with. We've got all that in our terms and conditions.
Okay.
I'll give you a better. I'll give you some more framing. So this is 2012. So 13 years ago now, 14 years ago now. And I'm sitting down at this table, and these gentlemen that I'm sitting down with, they've just acquired a company. The company was doing $6 million a year turnover. It was costing them $7 million a year. So
they were losing.
They were losing $1 million per year, right?
Oh my
so
goodness.
These guys, they got the company for next to nothing. They got the company for free, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. So these 2 guys take it over. 5 years later, the company is doing $700 million a year.
What?
How do you do that? Right.
Yeah.
And they do that through partnerships and joint ventures. So they went and they partnered up with every hotel, every spa, every, that's pharmacy and that kind of thing. And so that's how they took it to 700 million around Australia. And then they did one JV, one joint venture with the pharmacy group in the UK. This pharmacy group has 2,500 pharmacies. So that's distribution.
Yeah.
When they did that, by the way, that took about a year for them to do. When they got that, the valuation of the company went from 700 to 1.2 billion.
What?
So, and that's when they exited. So I'm sitting down at the table while they're telling these stories. I'm like, wow, how did I find myself at this table? It's pretty epic. And so, yeah. Let's go
through some of those numbers, because that went pretty quick. So valuation went from, did you say 700K?
So they went from negative $1 million to 700 million a year.
Yeah.
And then one joint venture took them to a valuation of 1.2 billion. And that's through one joint venture. Now, the mechanism there was they had a great product. The product was amazing, and that's the reason why they took over the business. The product was amazing, but the business model was broken. They didn't have distribution. So in this business model, you need a distribution. So they said, how can we get this factory pumping, getting in money, and getting our product out there and becoming, everybody knows about it. And they put it in all the hotels in Australia over here, and they put it in all the spas. So we have this thing called Endota Spa. I don't know if you have that over there, but all it's like luxury, spas. If you go in for half an hour to $200 for facials and things
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
So they built the brand. So even that's a lesson, right? They put it in the high end stuff. So now all of a sudden everyone associates that brand with high end. And so they're giving it as gifts and all that sort of thing. So that's how they took it to 700 million, through that distribution model. And because they built such a good brand and such a good name, then they could do this JV with the company in the UK. 2,500 pharmacies, again, distribution, which once they had that, it's a $1.2 billion valuation.
Okay, so amazing. So when you said the beginning numbers, I know they were losing $1 million. How much were they making again?
They were losing $1 million.
Yeah.
5 years later, they turned it into 700 million a year.
That's, oh my gosh. And then when you say 1.2 billion valuation, that's like the exit sale price?
Because they're on the stock market. So that's why
wow.
all the shares went through the roof because they IPO'd. And so everybody's buying the shares. So once that joint venture was announced, the shares just went, and that's where they exited.
For 1.2 billion?
Yeah. Well, what their shares are worth at that point. But yeah, that was the value of the company.
So that's not just an exit. That's a retirement strategy.
They've done this many times. So learning from people who are smarter than you is one of the biggest things that you can do, and having access to knowledge, which we all have. This is the best time to be alive.
Okay, so you're doing these amazing things with these companies. You're scaling them, help them to exit by AIifying them. But let's talk about some of the nitty gritty stuff about building AI to either help generate leads, help them make more sales. What are some of the nuts and bolts in what you do, and who you help? Who's your ideal client, and how do you help them go from? Are you helping the beginners? Are you helping people stuck at 50K months, 500K months, $1 million months?
No. Now our ideal clients are doing 20 million a year plus, and so because we can go in there, we can AIify the company. They've got teams, they've got departments. Every single deployment that we do, every hour that we spend in their company yields a big result on their bottom line. And so what that eliminates is money. Money is never a problem. Whatever we want to charge them is a pittance compared to what they're going to make. So they don't have any issues. So it's a different level of high ticket.
Okay. So and just to kind of entertain us, and I don't know if you don't have to give an exact dollar amount. When you say we can charge them, and there's nothing out of the ordinary of what we charge them.
I'll tell you the whole funnel. So we run events. The events are $500 to come to an event where we show them how to basically the power of AI, how to become an AI powered CEO.
Yeah.
From that, we sell them into a $7,000 workshop, which is on premise in their place, and we'll do that and go in there and I explain the workshop to you. We do that in live dashboards, everything. The CEO goes, "Oh my God, I'm going to make this much money." And then from that, we sell them a $25,000 mapping session where we map out the entire business and all the different things that AI can do in there. And then from that, we do an implementation. The implementation is between $150,000 to $250,000.
And how long does that take?
It depends on the client. Roughly between 3 to 6 months.
And how many, in terms of capacity bandwidth, how many clients can you take?
Yeah, we're expanding across 5 different countries at the moment. So, yeah.
So you have a whole team in 5 different countries.
Yep.
My goodness. And have you gone to North America yet?
No.
What? That's a huge opportunity.
Let's go, bro. Let's make it happen.
Okay, we got to talk. Boy, oh boy, this is exciting. Okay, so you're also a dad of a 10 and 8-year-old. I'm not sure, boy or girl.
My boy's 10, my daughter's 8.
Okay, so you have
they're my proudest achievements.
Yeah, that's amazing. Tell me of how that impacted your business and your wife and just family and faith.
Yeah, for sure. So back when I was 22 years old, I had 3 mentors. And these three mentors would see each other every day. We used to work together, etc. They were all 10 years older than me, so they all had kids. They were 10 years ahead of me. And so I'll never forget this. This is, I'm sitting down having lunch at one of my mentors' houses, and his son comes running, and his son's a toddler. I think I was about 3 or 4 at this stage. And he says, Dad, come, look outside. Da, da, da. I found something, And the dad says, no, I'm talking to Johann. I'll be there in half an hour. Anyway, the kid goes outside, falls down, cuts his head. We're going to rush him to the doctor, all this kind of stuff, right? So that happens. I went, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
A week later, I'm at another mentor's house. His daughter comes up and says, Dad, tell me about Mars. Dad says, hey, dude, just give me a second. I got to show my daughter something. I go, yeah, cool, no problem. He takes her to the computer. He pulls up the solar system. He shows her Mars. He shows her the composition. He shows her everything. Literally 5 minutes of education. He comes back, sits down, and we continue our cup of tea. Then we look out the window, and she is standing on a mound of rocks. And there's all the other kids sitting around while she's teaching them about Mars.
What?
And I went, wow, now that is a good role model. That's a good dad to have.
I love that. That's so amazing.
And when I was growing up, my father was working his butt off. So we're an immigrant family. My dad would leave the house at 5 a.m. He'd come back at 7. He'd be studying until 10 o'clock. So there was no real interaction with dad because of that reason. He was busting his chops to put food on the table. So I said, I always wanted to be around my kids. So from the age of 22, I made that decision that when I do have kids, I'm going to be available and be there with them all the time. Now, today, my son's 10, my daughter's 8. We walk them to school every day. We pick them up from school. We're the only couple that's walking, holding hands. I'm slapping my wife's ass. We're having some fun. It's just,
awesome.
Just how we are. And, it's a life that I imagined back when I was 22. And so the kids have grown up with stability. They know they've got full confidence that their parents are here. They're loved. We're proud of them. All of those sorts of things. Both my kids are hustlers.
Are they really?
Hell yeah. So I'm going to tell you 2 quick stories about them.
Yeah.
My daughter comes back the other day, and over here in Australia, they've, on their school bags, they carry all these keychain things. I don't know.
Yeah. My kids do too, yeah.
Yep. And so she comes back and she's got 5 new keychains. Now, these keychains are like $5 each.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do you have 5 new keychains? She's like, I traded. I'm like, what did you trade? She's like, I told my friends last week that my mom was in Japan, and she was. And then she goes, and mom's coming back, and she brings the most delicious little snack pack, right? Anyway, so what's she doing? She's creating hype.
Yeah.
All her, like, what is this? And then she goes, mom's coming back. And then she tells her friends, hey, mom came back. She brought 2 packets, and I ate one yesterday, and it was the most delicious thing in the world. And then she takes the next packet the next day, and all of her friends are there going, please get me some. She's like, you got to trade something. So she took this noodle packet, which is $1, and she traded it for $25 worth of stuff. I'm like,
she got 5 keychains from one?
5 keychains from one. She just broke off bits and traded that.
No way, she broke off bits? Not even giving the whole pack? Not
even the whole pack, bro. So I'm like, you know what? That's a proud dad moment. My wife's like, go return those things. I'm like, no. This is a great little lesson. She's earned it. Let her keep it. It's all good. And then the second story.
What a hustler. Yeah. I love it.
Second story is my son. So my son and I, we have a routine. Every Sunday we go and we get a juice. And we're sitting down and we got this juice, and it's a hot day. And he looks at me, and while he's looking around, and he's counting. And I go, what are you doing? He's bobbing his head. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm counting. I go, what are you counting? He goes, you give me $7 a week in pocket money. You just paid $10 for my juice. There's 100 people here who just ordered their juice. They paid $10 for their juice. It takes the juice shop 5 minutes to give me a juice. The juice shop just made $1,000 in 5 minutes. I go, yeah, that's right. He goes, how do I make $1,000 in 5 minutes? I went, that's the right question. So,
wow, that's super observant. How old was he?
That was when he was 9.
Wow, that's incredible. So, is he going to come into the company?
Oh, hell yeah! They have to. We've got companies for all of them.
I love that. I was talking to Michael Chu, who's an incredible. Actually, we should connect you with him. He's also a man of faith, and he has the highest, at least that he knows, LTV and retention rate. So he says a lot of people flex on acquisition and lead generation and all that stuff. But he goes like, I think the average, people that can keep their clients is like 3 to 6 months or something like that. And his is like 3 to 5 years or something. So that's an interesting, bringing these superpowers together. I have all these connections. So that's something we can talk about. When you are looking at businesses, are you looking to buy businesses as well and like just help them or actually own them?
We've got a syndicate of about 70 of us where we invest in businesses.
Okay.
And so if something comes along and we want to have a play and we can add some value to it, for sure.
So,
but it's not like my core. I have ADHD.
Okay.
And so when I don't want to get too distracted, because otherwise I'd start getting distracted. Okay. I'd rather have all my focus on one.
Speaking of distractions, because I was doing high ticket selling for an ADHD coach, and I've heard a lot of the stories of how people are super or hyper focused in some ways, but super distracted and can't get anything done with hundreds of things on their list. How do you accomplish so much with ADHD?
I just focus on 3 things a day. If every day I can wake up and do 3 things for my company, that's all I got to do. What's the 3 most high value things I can do for my company? That's the only thing I got to do.
Now, being an AI guy, are you asking, Claude to kind of help you as a CEO know what your 3 things are each day?
I built my own board of advisors that advise me and help me prioritize and tell me what's the most important things that I got to get done. So I leverage AI for that.
Does it also help you manage your schedule and your meetings and tell you which ones you should do, which you shouldn't do, which meetings you should take, which ones you shouldn't take?
Right now, I only take meetings with people who I know and introductions. And so I don't do any other types of meetings. And
well, I'm glad that we got this podcast interview then.
My time is very protected. I don't spend if I'm not working on my company, then I'm not with my family, then I'm taking time away from my family or from my company. So that's the way I see it.
100%. And what drove you to do the PhD at the University of Melbourne? And how did that? I know it helped with your businesses, but you can expand on that more.
Ignorance is.
What do you? Please tell. What do you mean?
Well, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I don't think most men know what they want to do at that young age. And I was very young, and to get how I got to the PhD is a longer story. I'll give you some context.
Sure.
So over here in Australia, once you finish year 12, it's like your college. When we finish year 12, we've got to apply to get into a university. Over there, I think you guys call it college. The night before applying, or I think the day of applying, me and my friends, we had a big party, and I filled out the wrong code. And so I got into agricultural science. I was trying to get into animal science, and instead of putting 2212, I put in 2122 or something. Like the code was nearly the same. So I put in the wrong code because I wanted to be a vet. That's what I wanted to do. And so I put in the wrong code, and then I got into agricultural science, and I'm like, what am I going to do with agricultural science? So I went to the university and said, hey, can I switch to animal science? And they said, well, you can, but for the first 2 years, animal science and agricultural science learn the same thing. But with agricultural science, you learn about plants as well. Yeah. I said, you know what, 2 for 1, why not? Since I'm paying them, I might as well learn some extra stuff.
That's funny.
And then, it turned out that as soon as I see blood, I pass out. So I wouldn't have made a good vet anyway. And so it just happened the way it was meant to happen. And then I finished my honors with in genetically modified canola. And I finished that in November. In December, the Australian government banned genetically modified canola. So I have this degree that's not worth anything over here in Australia. They said you have to go to Canada because Canada's 10 years ahead and you got to be there. And I said, no, it's too cold, so I've got to figure out something else to do. So my professor said, hey, why don't you go do this PhD? It's going to, climate change is going to be a big thing. So that's how I got into the climate change thing.
Wow. And the beautiful thing about climate change is, because of what you studied and the science behind it, you can build the systems between the climate change in systems and businesses, in revenue, in leads. right?
Yep.
So you have
Yep,
you
yep.
literally have a PhD in science that can, really audit and do a SWOT analysis on businesses, right?
It's all data. That's right.
Okay. Now, when a business plateaus, what are some of the first systems or AIification that you do?
Cool. So forget about AIification because you don't
Okay.
need that when a system plateaus. When a system plateaus, there's simple things that you need to do. One, more partnerships, more joint ventures, more distribution, because that's going to bring in more sales. Two, look at the database, and when you can see in the data, so we do reactivation campaigns. A client of mine, they're a manufacturing company, and he said, "Hey man, I'm plateaued. I'm looking for. Can I have a loan? I'm looking for. Can you help me get a loan?" I go, "How much do you need a loan for?" He's like, $2 million. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Well, you've got a significant business. Why don't you just mail the database?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "How much does the average person spend with you?" He goes, 50,000. I go, "Well, dude, just freaking run a campaign." He's like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "All right, let me show you." So I wrote him 3 emails, and it said, "Hey, end of the year is coming, end of the financial year. You're going to buy from us anyway. If you buy from us now, within the next 2 weeks, we'll give you 10% off your bill." So they're saving $5,000. He ended up pulling in about $4 million. So he was very happy.
What?
He didn't have to go get a loan because he's had that business for 20 years, and he's got a big database. So increase database, reactivate the database, or so you asked what are the levers? Reactivate the database because you've got gold sitting in your database. Figure out different joint ventures or partnerships that you can do. So who can I partner with? Who's got my database? Who can I get exposure to? Or what else can I sell them that's complementary? Those are the 3 easiest ways that any business that's plateaued that you can go to and say, let's do these 3 things. You don't need AI for that. That's just
And
AI
what
can
you said,
help you streamline
you
it.
wrote 3 emails and the average ticket price was 50K. And how much did he do in 2 weeks?
He did 4 mil.
Wow. Okay. So you had a lead generation company that I think you exited and sold. What can lead generation with AI look like? And because I heard you say things like we can guarantee results, and that's kind of like when I hear that, I hear FTC, SEC, like all these different things. My warning bells go off. And
Yep.
things that I used to guarantee, which is like ROI, because
There's only 2 things in life that are guarantees: death and taxes. Everything
Yes.
else, it cannot be guaranteed at all.
Yes.
So what I said was in the workshops that we do, they can see that their people are plugging in saying, "Hey, I spend 8 hours following up on my leads."
Mm.
And those 8 hours has got a number next to it saying this is how much it's costing me. Whereas now if AI can take over that, they're saving that amount of money, and then we can put that person into a more height. He can be closing more deals in that 8 hours. And so
Yeah.
that's the numbers that I'm talking about.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
yeah.
So give us either use case or because I think there's a lot of people who have tried AI agencies or AI software or AI solutions, and they've been promised the moon, but they haven't seen anything in their bank account.
That's because they don't do it properly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people think that AI is going to solve everything. It's not.
Right.
Business is about relationships.
Mhm.
So what we teach, what we taught in the last company is, yeah, I can give you a list of the most amazing people. I can give you all the research on Jay. But you have to have something that Jay wants. You have to have something that's going to add value to him. You have to have an irresistible offer. In order to craft that, once you craft that, then you can jump on and talk to Jay and go, "Hey, Jay, let's do a JV. This is what I want to do. This is why. And here's why I'm going to do 99% of the work. You just got to do 1% because Jay is busy."
Mhm.
Any person that you're talking to is super busy, right? And so if you make it an irresistible offer where they don't have to do much, but they get a huge upside from it, that's how you close the deals. Why do people fail? Is because they will get a lead generation software. Ours is not well, ours is pretty unique, but there's tons of lead generation softwares out there. What people do is they'll get a list and then they'll find 1,000 people or 10,000 people, and then they'll just spam them. It's the worst sort of lead generation that you can ever do. I would find 10 people. So here's the first thing that I did when we got that company.
Yeah.
So I went into the software and I found over here in Australia in Gold Coast, that's the equivalent of your Miami, I said, I'm going to go to, so my business partner, he lives in the Gold Coast. So I kept flying up every 6 weeks. And I have no friends over there because I didn't grow up there. So I said, hey, I want to have a group of friends up here that I can visit. So I'm not just visiting my business partner. I want to have some fun, all that kind of stuff. So I went into the software and I said, find me all the CEOs that do $2 million plus in this area, and literally by location. And I put a 5-kilometer radius around it. And I found 200 of them.
Wow.
And I emailed them and I said, hey, I'm coming down to the Gold Coast. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite you to come to the restaurant. Don't pay me any money, pay the restaurant. Anybody who pitches will be asked to leave. This is a gathering of high net worth people. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to meet a lot of great people. We're going to have play some games, mingling games and things like that. And anybody who pitches will be asked to leave. So they knew it was no pitch. And then I attached the list of who I've invited to the invite. So now imagine you see a list of 200 amazing people who you know, and you've just been invited, and you just got to go and pay $100 for your meal at the restaurant. You're not paying the host. You're just paying the restaurant.
Yeah.
So there's no transaction there. Yeah. Now what happened was, out of those 200 people that I invited, 85 of them showed up. 85 amazing CEOs who do $2 million plus. No judgment. They can rock up in their Ferraris. They can rock up in their Porsches. They've got their yachts parked outside, all that kind of stuff. But no judgment because they're amongst their peers. Now, those 85 people, we created a bond because every drink, every entree, every main, every dessert, we started switching positions so they got to meet different people. People kept coming up to me going, this was the best event ever. Thank you so much. This is epic. And the deal flow, here we are, 4 or 5 years later, still happens because now every time I go and they're like, hey, you're in the Gold Coast. Let me take you out. Let me show you around. Let's do some deals. So that's how to do business with AI. So you leverage AI to filter and find the right people. Then you give them an irresistible offer. Then you create an experience, and then you can do whatever you got to do.
Wow. You have a PhD in a lot of things. That's impressive. I love how you said that AI is not solving everything, but business is about relationships. And sometimes, in the AI world, the AI experts, we kind of dehumanize, business and relationships so much so that it feels like this is the in thing. This is the trending thing. AI will take over. AI will, all this stuff. But I love that you put relationships first, and AI helps, curate or helps you create that real human experience. I heard one person kind of half jokingly saying, people are going to pay more to be in a restaurant with real human beings versus like robots or AI.
Yep, exactly. We can sit there, we can sit on our phones all day long, but the thing that the human soul craves is human connection. And when you meet like-minded people, where you can be yourself, and that's the reason I mentioned yachts and cars and things. It's because people who are successful, there's a stigma in society. Oh, you're a show-off. You've got that car. Or you're a show-off. You've got a yacht. No, he's a kid who achieved his dreams and is finally able to buy these toys for himself or herself. But society judges them. But when you're amongst peers, no one judges you because everybody's got it. And so you can just sit there and just talk business and talk at that level where you're talking about the coolest deals that you've done, the coolest, mergers and acquisitions that are happening, and talk about real world events that make a big difference.
So you also talked about being a man of faith, and when you just talked about all these people with this incredible wealth and success, where people who don't have that look at that as flex, and there's jealousy, and then you look at the church and the Christians, and I as a pastor for 10 years, there was like this whole stigma of owning certain things or not being able to succeed, and I think there's a place where faith in the marketplace. You can be a leader, you can be a market leader, you can have faith, you can have wealth, and you can also distribute it. That was one of the key words I heard, distribution. How do you align faith, purpose, and kingdom-driven business with such success?
We're here for a very short amount of time. The time that we have is so small. The impact that we create is great. So, I'm going to go back to my kids. My kids have to make a minimum of 5 people smile every day. Make their days great.
Is that right?
That's a rule that they've grown up with. People have said, hey, money's the root of all evil, and money won't make you happy. That's the thing. I hear that a lot. And I say, the people who say money won't make you happy have not given enough away. Because when you can, it's true. When you can give away, and you will change people's lives. It's that is true happiness. And so, yeah, it's just a different belief system. And while we're here, we are so blessed to live in this timeline with this technology, with these networks, with this business acumen, with these tools that we have. We're here to give back, and that's the I don't know. I believe there's a greater purpose to everything, and we're here to give as much as we can, because the more you give, the more you get. It's just that's what we believe.
Amazing. So I'm going to share a screen where people can get a hold of you, and I'm going to do a lightning round in just a minute on what's the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you these questions. So let me just put this up on the screen. So if people want to get a hold of you, where do they go? What do they do? Here's your website.
Yeah, you can go to my website. You can hit me up on Facebook. Facebook's my main social media. You can hit me up on LinkedIn, but I check that once a month.
So, oh yeah, okay. Instagram,
yeah.
We got Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter. I don't even use Twitter, but it's there. But hit me up on Facebook. That's if you want to talk to me, I will respond to you, and we'll have a chat there.
Okay. So you got your companies here, partnerships. Amazing. Okay. Very, very cool. So let's go into the lightning round of, what are the things that come to your mind when I ask these questions? And then I'm going to ask a question that I ask all my guests, which is, what does sell more to give more mean to you? And that's going to be the last question. What does sell more to give more mean to you? So lightning round questions are, what's one system every business needs?
What's one system every business needs? Sales.
Okay.
They need a sales system. They need a lead acquisition system that's bringing in the right connections. Now that is the word correct. The right ICP makes a massive difference. If you're selling something for $100, if you're selling something for $1 million, you need to be able to attract. You need the right bait to get the right person into your system. So,
okay,
have a good lead generation system.
Awesome. One AI tool more founders should be using.
Well, my favorite is Manus. So I use Manus all day, every day for my personal assistant. All the enterprise stuff gets done in Claude, but personally, I love Manus. It's my all day, every day.
Interesting, because I thought you were going to say Claude, but Manus for your personal assistant, enterprise business stuff is Claude.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to dig a little deeper in that. I'm going to cheat on the lightning round. Why Manus as your personal assistant?
So I spent 2 weeks doing a lot of work with ChatGPT, and then Manus came out in May last year, and I did the same amount of work in 10 minutes with Manus, and I just went, wow. And then I just got addicted to it, and I've used all of them. I've used every AI that there is, and this one always gets me the best results. Now we've trained it up. I can launch an event in 15 minutes just by saying, hey, here's the event, here's the dates, here's the theme, go build me the page. It'll go build me the page, the funnel, the ads, the VSLs, the YouTube, everything in 15 minutes. That used to take me months to build properly.
So, and you said usually takes you 10 minutes versus ChatGPT. How long would that take?
I wouldn't even use ChatGPT for all those to build.
What do you use? Okay, here's a lightning question. What do you use each AI for? So Manus is personal assistant that can help you build events, pages in very short time, like 10 minutes. ChatGPT, do you use it for anything? ChatGPT
I use as a translator. So I travel a lot, and I've got the $20 plan, which allows me to then talk to it via voice, and it's my expensive translator, or just basic stuff that I don't want to confuse my Manus with stupid questions. So I asked ChatGPT that.
Okay. And the next, what are the other AI tools, and what do you use them for?
There's the Claude, there's Flowwith, there's Gemini, all those. But yeah, Manus is my main all day, every day.
Okay. One growth lever that gets overlooked.
Partnerships. Easiest way to grow and scale any company is partnerships. Who has my database?
One habit that improves execution.
Do the 3 things. Just 3 things a day. Cancel everything else. Just do those 3 things. 3 things that move your company forward.
One mistake that slows scaling.
Slow scaling. Customer service. customer service, customer support. So having a leaky bucket. So you can be closing deals, but if delivery is not happening, customers aren't happy, you're going backwards or you're stagnating.
Okay. And what does sell more to give more mean to you?
So we belong to this organization called B1G1, belong to, subscribe to. So all the money that we make from another company called businessauthorities.com, we used to run these events and we would donate to B1G1. Now, the purpose of saying that is we've got 3,000 members. 3,000 members fed, clothed more than 1.1 million people in 3 years.
What?
So a small company, a tiny little company with not that many people, can make that much impact. The reason we chose B1G1 is because every dollar that we donate goes to the people. We pay the fees. And so there's, like we used to do, Red Cross and things like that, but the people at the end only get 5% of what we were giving.
That's amazing.
Here, 100% goes to them. So b1g1.com, go check it out.
Incredible. So that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for tuning into the Sales Ninja Show podcast. Now go apply what you learned from Johann to your next sales conversation, scaling, and M&A and exit strategy, and practice leading with clarity, calm, and service. If you're ready to master faith-driven sales psychology and close high-ticket deals with integrity, head over to gosalesninja.com and book your free Sales Ninja audit call to see how we can move the needle in your business. We are here to help you sell with confidence and serve from a place of purpose. Remember, your work is stewardship. Keep your eyes on God. Stay faithful in the small steps, and we will see you in the next episode. Johann, you were amazing. Thank you so much, and thank you for helping us to teach others how to sell more, to give more.
Pleasure, man.